So handsome, oh, you have your way, and it's making me weaken. You and your stardust, walking like that, it's really getting too much, but I can't pull back. Though I try to resist, I can't fight this, and no one makes me feel like you do.
They did find Cucumber, but he's going to lift him.
Oh, Vulcan gets caught right into that, and Speed is going to be able to follow up. Talking about jumping over to the Doofus, talking about playing into the Doofus.
A manos de la bola, ya son 3 las picks que conseguía el equipo de British Hurricane.
We need your help to decide our Opinion Outpost MVP of the match.
He's got a minute to kind of work some sort of pick against this Doc, and oh my good lord, he just got eviscerated.
Oh! He's not dead! Hey, now he's dead!
Holy cow, I've never seen someone get so aggressive.
Oh, catches their opponent outside of the building, and that is it!
It's Rocket League Wednesday on the High School Esports League home room. I am, as the kids say, vibing right now. This is just fumes for them, while Pharaoh rips shot after shot after shot of the back of them.
Good wall towards site, but it's already been broken, so they can't even get that spike down trustedly. Camera over towards site, and again, it's getting all that information. Hebot going absolutely massive!
Here in this map number 4 season, up on championship point, being up 2-1. Nifty dropped down to 19 HP. Joker, with his M13 in hand, is just trying to hold the angles.
Hello, everybody! I hope that you are having an amazing day, night, whenever you are deciding to watch this broadcast. We here at Overwatch EX, or Expansive, as I'd like to say, welcome you to the first week of the next season. I am username_intel here, joined by the amazing color caster, Rudy TG. How are you doing?
Doing good, and funny you brought up color caster. We noticed before we started here that we actually color coded our outfits today unintentionally, so we got a little bit of the red blue going on here, much like these 2 teams that we have in the lobby for you today. We are going to be featuring 2 teams from the Iberia region today, Unplugged versus FTW Esports, and it's sure to be a banger.
I definitely have to agree, especially because both of these rosters not only have an ambassador, so that's someone representing them, and we get to talk a lot about them, but debatably, we kind of had a conversation beforehand that these are very talented players who have been in the open division scene, who have been in the contender scene, so this is almost a pseudo, kind of, tier 2.5, I want to say tier 3, almost in that tier 2 section, but you know, we kind of want to get that setting.
Yeah, of course. I mean, these are the best of the best for these regions, representing their countries, their regional sort of districts. Obviously, in the Iberia region, we got actually the Spanish team in Unplugged versus the Portuguese team in FTW. So sort of that Iberian dominance sort of mentality might be going into this match as well. And as you can see, the players on the screen right here, they are all ready to go.
It's going to be extremely exciting, especially with our first map going into Busan. More than anything, we are starting with a new patch. Technically, it's been out for a few weeks. These players have had more than enough time getting used to seeing how it works, and I think Busan is one of those maps where we're definitely going to see that impact, primarily maybe with Doomfist on mecha-based, Moira's high jumps, Ryan's possible shatter changes that, you know, haven't been fixed yet. We don't even know if they're still in anymore, because Blizzard can secretly patch things without needing to get rid of the replay codes. That's just me being a little bit more petty. Either way, I think this match is going to be absolutely exciting. There is so much that comes into how these players are going to be going up against each other, because we're in a sense of we haven't seen them play together, so how are they going to work as a team? But we know these players. We've seen them work. I mean, some of these players have been in the World Cup before.
Yeah, for sure, especially the ambassadors, right? And also you have obviously tier 3 and tier 2 players coming to join these teams as well. And like you said, that balance patch it's gonna mess things up for sure. Especially, you know, there's some Hanzo changes and Cassidy changes that are definitely gonna, as you said, mess with the meta, especially on mecha base where Doomfist is such a popular pick. Ooh, I don't know about that with the new Moira Fade and the new Cassidy role. It's gonna be pretty difficult for Doomfists to find fitting there. But you know what? Let's just stop talking here. Well, actually, we'll keep talking, but we can go ahead and jump into actually. Never mind. They decided that they wanted us to keep talking.
No, you see, every first stream always has to have that little bit of scuffness, so we actually scripted that into the match just so we can make sure there's no bigger issues down the line, like Spain losing half of their power again. I definitely feel that's something that we're not trying to worry about here. I had to bring it up just to be safe. It does seem we are going to actually get a map switch, quite possibly, onto Rialto. Maybe these players want to be a bit more into that hometown. So we'll get a little bit moment to talk about the possibilities of how this patch notes change the entirety of this Overwatch meta. Because debatably, I don't think it changes too much. How do you feel, Rudy?
Okay, so in terms of the balance patch, yeah, let's talk about the balance patch, because we were talking about this beforehand, and we were kind of even on the fence about what was even in the game anymore, because, you know, obviously the patch itself came with a bunch of bugs, so scuffed Hanzo arrows that could just shoot through shields, and then the balance patch seemed to affect shields in general, because you could also shatter through shields, which apparently has been patched out, so
like
the Ryan meta is still pretty much the same. But like we said, I think the most impactful changes were to the 2 DPS, Cassidy, Hanzo, and then also Ryan still has the 200 shatter on. See shatter kills galore, especially on mecha base here. We are not going to be switching to a different map. I was about to say, because we were like, that's just not part of the rulebook, guys. What are you doing?
You know,
gotta follow the rulebook.
Honestly, I should probably just like not say the first thing that comes onto my mind, because I see them switch map for a second
I saw
and
that too. They made a couple player changes as well, player swaps.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. We are going to get mecha base first. We talked a little bit on this, especially when it comes down to the Doomfist, especially since both of these teams are rocking very different types of compositions. One Wrecking Ball Zarya, one just pure Brawl, and it's almost like a meta versus off meta type of standard.
Yeah, I mean, Wrecking Ball, I would say, is still like the Wrecking Ball composition is still like the better composition, but on mecha base especially, you can definitely get away with playing the Brawl here, and then when you don't have the Cassidy May here to start things off with, it's going to be on them to stop the ball momentum and be able to contest point.
An amazing first pick onto the Wrecking Ball, but an even better rotation coming from Unplugged as they try to deny the Brawl walking onto them. However, enough falls down, is not going to be able to escape. They do trade, finding onto the Baptiste of FTW, and they're looking to play around, get that token. They have really fast respawn, so it's all about the target focus. Finding out that Cassidy does also benefit them. However, the problem comes is that they aren't going to be able to touch that point. We see them slowly dying off, just like a parasite, as Unplugged managed to bring it back.
Kaja going down in that fight honestly meant that the sustain just wasn't there for the rush composition, and so finding the picks onto other targets from like Canal was getting the pick onto with his Discord orb was definitely going to be a lot easier with your main healer down. Actually, Fomenzo switching over to the Symmetra here, so that's going to mean a lot more mobility, but also a lot less stun for the Wrecking Ball. So they're going to be using this to teleport over and just fight them straight head on.
But the big problem comes is that the mines are split between them. They managed to find enough, and Unplugged seem to just not be able to move in. The window slows them down. Pulse Bomb lands, finds out Cassidy as the rest of FTW try to clean this up. They are entirely split. Symmetra able to get a good amount of damage, then trades out. The capture is going in, but look at that. Hobby is able to use the rally, giving them a lot of sustain onto this fight. It's not going to keep them up for too long, but the Zenyatta popping out onto the DPS gets that 3K. That's what I call saving the fight.
Yeah, I'm sure the rally definitely helped a lot there too, but Kanal staying alive throughout that entire team fight was definitely super good as well. And we do see Symmetra Wall coming up, as well as all the other ultimates like the tank ultimates for FTW, with only the Transcendence to keep them at bay. It's going to be a tough challenge for us.
The Dynamite manages to hit them, though luckily they force out the Transcendence back up. Use the Sound Barrier, now re-engage with the Teleporter, allowing them to move forward. That wall does manage to block out a good amount of damage, does not save the Symmetra as they have to overextend to find anybody. Having the wall to be able to use behind him is a bright side as you get the 3K! You can't let that happen! FTW are still in this fight. Never mind. How do you let that happen? As Unplugged comes back in, uses the mines, forces you off the point, gets the boot to have the Doomfist to touch the point, but we already talked about how you're just not going to work out well, and what a way to bring it back. There may still be this stagger of Elysium touching the point, but it does not work in their favor anymore. They're going into a den of fire, and it's not going to be helping. Not even getting the bomb out. Unplugged. They're taking the first point, and what I gotta say, an impressive way to do so.
Score.
Yeah, that was the power of the Wrecking Ball composition right there. Just having enough, as long as enough of your teammates stay alive throughout the team fight, and you know, FTW, they have to prioritize point control, because obviously points ticking away 99% for Unplugged, so they have to prioritize being on point. As long as you have your backline on the high ground enough, just taking shots in left and right, Kanal staying alive, Gavi giving him the support as well. Doesn't matter what you do on the side of FTW. And although Cohen just had this huge 3K with that Deadeye, it just wasn't enough, unfortunately. Project coming in with that boop here, but now both teams are going to be mirroring the Wrecking Ball compositions. It's just going to be a lot better on downtown here.
You can't beat it. Join them, as I'd like to say. Though having the Ash as we're looking, it's giving them so much space just to shoot out. FTW may have control when it comes to the point in the general senses of this fight, but you lose your Zenyatta so early that it's not looking good. Falling close is going to be that wreck mode, though they managed to capture out the point. It's not looking in their favor. The rest of the team having to back out, wanting to try and disengage, maybe get a bit more of a capture for as long as possible. It's just not in their favor as Unplugged moving as a unit. Tracer looking to get that damage in. The Dynamite slowly getting them out. They even get the capture while the rest of them are still being staggered. Though, this FTW are being able to come back. They managed to finish off the baby demons, and Yada alone has to play a bit more carefully. There's just nothing you can do with the Conde is being able to melt you down. Even if your Sombra and Wrecking Ball are there to touch the point, how are you allowing the Tracer to build up the pulse bomb this quickly, come back in, and melt you down? What a way to solo win a point.
Still going to with okay, they're finally going to get the rest of their staggers back into their spawn, so they're not going to stagger out too much more. Yeah, Conde was just on fire throughout that entire exchange. It was actually pretty close considering that FTW still wanted to prioritize the points, obviously, but now they're coming in with an EMP that might be cancelled out with the Transcendence from Kanal as well. Cohen has this data, and as we saw last round, might be able to make it work.
That came really close to shutting down the EMP. Luckily, they did not use it, so they managed to save themselves from that big whoopsie-whoopsie type of moment. Though the hack is going to be stopping Unplugged from moving in. There's a lot of ultimates on the table. The first pick is going to matter a lot as Javi is going to fall out. Najo is able to use the Transcendence, allowing them to move further as the picks continue to find off. Flamezone uses the EMP after the 3K pulse bomb, but it's just not enough. You invest into a lost fight. That was just part of their plan.
Yeah, not too much invested for Unplugged either. Didn't need to commit mines, didn't need to commit rally as well. Now you got those ultimates to deal with the upcoming aggression from FTW, and unless Gohan fends another 3K Deadeye, I'm not sure that this fight is going to go in their favor.
At this point, I gotta say more of just how are they looking to coordinate this fight. They don't really have too much. The mines go out, but they throw the bomb, looking to do as much damage as they can to High Noon, managing to just break the Mets slightly. They are at an advantage. They are losing more than they are being able to invest, as Unplugged slowly and coordinates, melts them down, finishes it up, and they clean out on Busan 99-0 on the second point. They're going to be managing to take this game and lead it to the series. My goodness.
In a pretty comfortable fashion, if I might say here. Unplugged definitely had the better coordination with their backline in terms of just supporting Canal, allowing them to just tear apart the enemy team with their Discord orbs and just immaculate precision. I mean, the first picks that they got to going into this team, going into some of those team fights were amazing as well. And obviously Conde there on the Tracer as well. That second round was just tearing through them as well with the help of the Fage on the Wrecking Ball. So very nice work from Unplugged. It is now going to be FTW's map pick. We are going to our next map type, which is going to be the Escort map type. So you got a couple of options here in terms of maybe wanting to counter Unplugged's Wrecking Ball composition. You might be able to lean more towards something along the lines of, I don't know, at the top of my head. Dude, I don't know the maps of this game. I'm blanking. Hey, user, help me out. Oh gosh, hold on.
I don't want to help you. I kind of want you to just sit there and think about the map possibilities, as if hybrids aren't one of the most popular game modes in the entirety of the series. And we already know what the next map is going to be. You're researching for nothing, my good man Rudy.
No, it's S. Oh wait, no, is it hybrid? I guess it's hybrid. Then. All right, well, if it's hybrid, then it's obvious, right? I was thinking of Escort maps. I was like, Junkertown. What else? What else?
Rialto, that was like we talked about earlier. Havana, there are a ton of great. That hurts my feelings just to know. But I mean, look on the bright side. We already know our next map. That is going to be King's Row, Scrims Row, whatever you like to call it. This is heavily a brawl map, though I feel that is not what we're going to be expecting. Something about this is just feeling a little off. You know, one of the teams are a Wrecking Ball comp, so I feel they may adapt around this.
Listen, it wouldn't be the craziest thing in the world to put a Wrecking Ball composition in this map, especially on defense, where it actually does lend more towards like with the statue in the middle, and also you got a bunch of high ground as well, so you can put an Ash or a Hanzo, or even run something like a Farmer C or an Echo there as well. Not like the biggest shock in the world if that's what Unplugged would do here, but it looks like they will be the ones who are attacking first. So we'll see what happens here when we jump into game.
Consider this a bit of just cultural diversity, as we have some of the Spanish players more in the UK. If out of all the places, I apologize for taking you here. Though King's Row is popular, you know, despite the memes against the British. I'm more interested to see what the format is going to be on Versus. I definitely think this is going to be more team coordinated, especially as you talked about. More than anything, just look, we see Unplugged going on to something that we're very comfortable and used to seeing. Wait, no, it's backwards actually. FTW are running something that we're not comfortable at looking at, and Unplugged are running something we're used to seeing.
Yes, the other way around. Unplugged have switched gears. They are now playing the Brawly Brawl, the brawliest of brawls, with the new Reinhardt shatter changes. FTW, they're just, you know, they're just doing their thing. Conde now has switched over to the Cassidy as well. And Canal is going to try to make the same impact on the Baptiste here. And FTW looking to play the brawl as well.
I fully respect it. Double bubble, you know, it's a risk, but it's something that you really got to think about. Having the double snipers, though, is its own interesting take. I can respect using it solely for the scout arrow, then switching on to the main Cassidy. So you're going on to that 1v1. They take their time and they get a good amount of poke in. The ult charge, especially for both Baptistes, have been immaculate as they're being able to save their time up. They make a very nice rotation, looking to just find anybody out so they can make it in, but look at that, Javi's able to take out the Mei. Everyone else slowly being caught and brawled onto Unplugged, playing the aggression to their favor and immediately shut them down.
Yeah, immediately finding that low target. Very nice play from Javi, and that is just a sweep. In this type of composition, that first pick, it really does matter in terms of momentum shifting, and so Unplugged obviously with a very big advantage now, and now that they're set up on high ground, they can take full advantage of this window that they have now.
It's a really big ability, especially being on top of this high ground, though we see Unplugged immediately move down. They're looking for room to use it. Both of them get set up. The shatter goes down into the shield, but they take a reverse counterplay against the Reinhardt. Now, FTW no longer having the shield get slowly melted out, stunned, and at least they get that trade onto Vajan enough. You know, that gives your respawns a little bit more.
It's also going to mean that they're not going to be on high ground immediately, so FTW definitely has an advantage coming into the choke now, where they're not going to be expecting people, they're going to be expecting them at the choke now, so now they have full control and shatter into the wall.
Look at that, Blizzard gets Ian though, so it's still a fair fight until the high noon goes out, manages to find through the shield, and you're not even able to stay up. Why do you let yourself die to the bomb in that fashion? They may walled it off. I mean, I get it, you gotta die to get the reset, but that was just rude.
It's rude. The aggression coming in from Unplugged is almost clinical in a way. They just find the weak links and are just cutting them out surgically almost. Flamenzo actually swapping over to the Doomy Woomy. Oh boy, we're gonna see the full effects of how they're gonna be able to struggle against the Cassidy's in here, but they won't have a Moira to deal with. They can actually deal pretty easily with the Baptiste here.
Yeah, I still am very worried. We see them use the speed boost. They go onto the high ground. They manage to find out Javi, who was playing a little bit too aggressive, and gets punished for it. Finding a nice Maywall out, lays down the Blizzard. Now you have to try to survive through it. They barely manage to escape. The immortality goes onto Woody. They're able to find out enough inside those trades. While the window is on the high ground, it's not enough to defend them. FTW finally have the room to start taking the point, but a recontest is still possible.
It's possible, but it's, I mean, actually, Kohen is alive. No, sorry. Konde is still alive up on the high ground. It looks like they're going to be able to drop down. Looks like they just want to fight at this part. They don't want to risk just trying to go in, which I think is a smart move in this situation. You just be staggering yourself out. You got a bunch of ultimates to work with on both sides. I think the most important is going to be how these beats from both Lucio's are utilized in how they're defensive, or whether they're aggressive with them, or whether they're defensive with them.
No, they do! They immediately spot it out, though the fire strike goes through, takes out the Rhine, and then the bomb out of nowhere takes out Javi. That's just coordination at its finest. Unplugged, no longer having a chance to hold the Argent. We had hope they could. We'll just have to see what they do in the next fight.
The flank from 40 directions actually allowed for that bomb to kind of take them by surprise as well, and the wall did manage to find Fahe out on that Reinhardt. No ultimates expended for Unplugged, however, so they will be saving a bit, but FTW has a couple of their own as well, and no beats have been used so far. Both Deadeyes are still also available as well to try to catch up these members, but look at the Flamenzo. Look at the position he's taking up. He definitely wants... Oh, he's been caught out.
Oh, that's a little bit unlucky. They use the high noon at least just to make some space, get their Doomfist out of there to get to it. It's not the biggest issue, but now they have to win this fight against both sound barriers. The shatter going on both sides. It's no longer in a clear section as the payload moves closer. Unplugged though loses their diva. It's not going to work well. Gets the punch in. making the fight more into their favor, and that window is no longer useful. Even if you have the Blizzard out, who do you have to follow up besides the Reinhardt being able to defend him perfectly? Going both ways at any point, we still see Warrior wanting to bring this in their favor, finding out the Reinhardt. Once again, May is going down. We do see Bonde being able to find Hulton, and well, it's just no longer looking in favor of FTW as they do not have the respawns to win out that fight.
It was very close though. Definitely the respawn advantage coming in favor of Unplugged. And now FTW only have the window to commit here. Nothing on the enemy team to on the enemy side to really mitigate the damage that could come through with it. Cohen's so close to this Deadeye as well.
There's also a... Yep, they want to get rid of that advantage. The wall, the bomb, the charge into the post. Though they stop the slant, the charge, it is going to be a big benefit. Doomfist in the backbone, they has the high noon. Looking to find out anybody has to just cancel it to escape. Unfortunately, they lose their bats. It's no longer going to be a fair fight as they don't have as much healing. They still push forward, losing out on their own diva. Still, a very nice Maywall, forcing them down a single angle. Bonde looking to build up another high noon. Already halfway there. Already comes to the shatter, misses out the sound barrier there to peel in from anybody who got hit. Enough comes out, building up the Blizzard. Another beautiful Maywall out, looks to cancel it, pops the Blizzard, and there is just no room for them to bring this fight back in the edge. That's what I'd like to say, because they managed to escape it. Poppy's able to find out the Doomfist. Baptiste falls, sound barrier lands, the high noon gets held, just to find out anybody gets canceled midway through. Even is going to be able to come back that charge, going inside the backline. Abby is going to be taken out by their own May, unfortunately enough, as we see the Reinhardt. It's just FTP. They're getting the picks, but they're not being able to secure it as Unplug have the respawn advantage, return to the fight and use the window to scare them off. It's overtime. They have to keep touching. The shatter goes out. This is the Diva trying to remake. Unfortunately, though, they have no room to continue respawning. Even if the Lucille's being able to be there, it's not long term. It was just a rental. And Unplugged, they managed to hold on second point.
Very impressive stuff coming out from Unplugged. FTW, they were finding the picks, they were finding the initiations, and they were actually trying to set up Flamenzo on the Doomfist pretty well here, going through the flanks while Flamenzo would try to initiate on the other side. Unfortunately, you just had the powerhouse of Conde just alive the entire time, with Doomfist unable to take him out. He was free to rain in damage, as you see, and he rained in that damage by putting in those headshots, putting in that damage, putting in those stuns. Yeah, I mean, that was just great use of just helping your star player pop off on his hit scan, talent.
Yeah, it takes a second. You know, we're in a different language when it comes to these teams, so I can definitely understand. Struggle. That's my excuse, you know, because you can pronounce Conde as Conte or Conde. If you wanted to just do that.
I'm just following your lead, man. You said it first, and so I'm like, okay, that's probably.
I know, but that's just struggle. But that's just struggle of a different language, you know, different pronunciations. Still, though, I gotta say, it's quite interesting how Unplugged are able to unite and work as a team, because they could have lost it at any point, but they managed to bring it back, stop FTW Esports, stop them from being able to win that out, and that's fairly impressive. Though, when moving into this next fight, I'm more interested to see how are FTW going to be able to adapt, especially going through the Shrine, the most dangerous point. They're already looking out for the Maywall. They have to stack just to be able to not really worry about it, but this is where the Brawl comes in. Even taking the off angle, they lose the Baptiste, and this is the immediate turn. The Tsunami has come in as they swap over Unplugged. Just no room to even build a full charge. So how rude.
That was just a hard read from FTW, knowing that they would try to rotate around the statue, so Cohen just sets up behind them. Flamenzo is still on this Doomfist pick, so they're confident about making the Doomfist work in this situation, which I'm pretty surprised about, going up against both a May and a powered up Cat. Engagement is there.
Yep, they're moving into this fight. The Immortality is able to keep Mage up for a little bit longer, and that's all they really needed, as Eventually, Aiden's going to go in, be taken out. So now they don't have anything to eat, and Unplugged have no room to push in as they have to wait for their mech to return. FTW, on the other hand, building up their ultimates, can choose to engage now. They're just looking to play like a mousetrap. The Doomfist just punches and tries to kill you.
Yeah, he's got about 40%.
That they move it.
Back. Oh, but they got the stagger out onto him, and now it's just going to be easy pickings. They're down one tank as well.
It's even worse. They don't really have much room. They're stuck inside this small spot. The window gets used solely to just stop anyone from pushing in. The D.Va gets more room to return into the fight. They can, but the D.Va can't really push in until that space is... Yeah, the space was given. It was a lucky factor. Conde also has the high noon. Everybody on the side of FTW decide to hide in the hotel. Hiding those two, not able to find much, but look at this. Enough past the Blizzard. Counter high noon going out. Blizzard lands. FT are going to regret giving up that space. They may find out Conde, but they've lost out their Reinhardt. Control on this one goes into Unplugged as we see them attempting to slam down. Looking to just pick off Mage for as long as possible. Getting the sound barrier, but it does get countered. Played saving Hobby from the bomb, but the remake kill is still in the game, and that's gonna take you out. We see the bomb from Adi coming in, being able to take out Warriors, so that's not too much to worry about. This one's going to be onto the side of Unplugged as they soon return. And Vitelli's thrown a little bit too far. The Shatter goes through, but not able to secure a pick. They even get the capture in the meanwhile, and still staggering you up. What an impressive showcase. It's Unplugged. They're gonna be able to push forward.
FTW was just not respecting the position that Conde was in on that high ground closest to the spawn, and they decide to rotate in a way that means they're trying to contest a point with Conde just taking shots in directly behind them. So a bit of a mistake in rotation. Oh my god, Clemenzo just gets caught out again. The Doomfist, it's not working.
I mean, it's just not what you're looking for, rather than, I think, just, like, not working inherently. Unplugged have been continuing to adapt against Flame the more it goes on. Now they even want to stop any form of aggression. They use this window, even though nobody was truly engaged in it. It was just a small poke. The payload's going to move forward, but this fight has already started. Both high noon getting speed. We do see, oh no! FTW's, Cassidy's not going to be able to get the high noon now. The Shatter goes through, stops the window from getting too much value. Now FTW struggling to stay up. They've lost their Reinhardt. This is no longer in their favor. They have to find a pick just to make a difference. When the Doomfist gets rose, they're not going to be able to survive. And, well, not going to be able to contest anymore. That's practically a team kill. Nobody can even touch. We are going to see Unplugged immediately went out on King's Row, taking the second map.
Like we said, clinical precision. Unplugged is playing with this, not only with their wrecking ball composition, the coordination between, you know, their tanks and their flex support, but also now Conde just unleashed on this Cassidy as well, and the team taking advantage of the space that he is given. FTW, they are on their last map in order to win for this first round of OWEX.
Yeah. Gotta say, it's already a highly impressive kind of matchup, I think, and it's truly going in favor of the team that's being able to adapt. Still, though, FTW have had moments to shine. Maybe this was just the warm-up, but I guess you'll have to find out after this quick break.
They did find Cucumber, but he's gonna lift him.
Oh, Vulcan gets caught right into that, and Speed is gonna be able to follow up. Talking about jumping over to the Doomfist, talking about playing into the Doomfist.
A manos de la bola. Ya son 3 las picks que conseguía el equipo de British Hurricane.
We need your help to decide our opinion outpost MVP of the match.
He's got a minute to kind of work some sort of pick against this Doc, and oh my good lord, they just got eviscerated.
He's not dead! Hey, now he's dead!
Holy cow, I've never seen someone get so aggressive.
Oh, catches their opponent outside of the building, and that is it.
It's Rocket League Wednesday on the High School Esports League home room. I am, as the kids say, vibing right now. This is just fumes for them, while Pharaoh rips shot after shot after shot of the back of them.
Good wall towards site, but it's already been broken, so they can't even get that spike down trustedly. Camera over towards site, and again, it's getting all that information. Heatbot going absolutely massive!
Here in this map number 4 season, up on championship point, being up 2-1. Nifty dropped down to 19 HP. Joker with his M13 in hand is just trying to hold the angles.
Got me upside down, spinning around you. Wanna taste the clouds, dance with the moon. Take a trip around your body. Boy, I love the way you got me. Starry-eyed, got me starry-eyed. Losing all my focus, I can't even control it. You know your lips are golden, baby, get me high. Touching me like lightning, keeping it exciting. You know exactly what to do to blow my mind. You're from another planet. I've never felt like this. I don't know how I ever survived without it. I'm starry-eyed. Got me upside down, spinning around you. Wanna taste the clouds, dance with the moon. Take a trip around your body. Boy, I love the way you got me. Starry-eyed, got me starry-eyed. This bed is out of space, just keep painting constellations. You cover me in glitter till I'm shining bright. I never wanna leave the sky. The way you made me feel alive. I was in the dark and baby, you're the light. You're from another planet. I've never felt like this. I don't know how I ever survived without it. I'm starry-eyed. Got me upside down, spinning around you. Wanna taste the clouds, dance with the moon. Take a trip around your body. Boy, I love the way you got me. Starry-eyed, got me starry-eyed. Couldn't fight if I wanted. Flying to places that I never thought I could go. You're a meteor shower, falling down all over me. Yeah, you're making me glow. Couldn't fight if I wanted. Flying to places that I never thought I could go. Starry-eyed, got me starry-eyed. Yeah, got me upside down, spinning around you. Wanna taste the clouds, dance with the moon. Take a trip around your body. Boy, I love the way you got me. Starry-eyed, got me starry-eyed. Got me upside down, spinning around you. Wanna taste the clouds, dance with the moon. Take a trip around your body. Boy, I love the way you got me. Starry-eyed, got me starry-eyed. Got me upside down, spinning around you. Wanna taste the clouds, dance with the moon. Take a trip around your body. Never really saw you coming until you turned me around. Used to think I was nothing, but look at this love we found. So give me your hand, like you said, man. No, I don't ever wanna see you cry. No more tears. No more tears. Take that chance, you'll be fine. No, I don't ever wanna see you cry.
They did find Cucumber, but he's gonna lift him.
Oh, Wolfgang gets caught right into that, and Speeder's gonna be
Oh,
able to follow
no.
up. Talking
You
about
let him
jumping over to
do.
the Doofus, talking about playing into the Doofus.
A manos de la bola. Ya son 3 las picks que conseguía el equipo de British Hurricane.
We need your help to decide our opinion outpost MVP of the match.
He's got a minute to kind of work some sort of pick against this Doc, and oh my good lord, he just got eviscerated.
Oh! He's not dead! Hey, now he's dead!
Holy cow, I've never seen someone get so aggressive.
Oh, catches their opponent outside of the building, and that is it.
It's Rocket League Wednesday on the High School Esports League home room. I am, as the kids say, vibing right now. This is just fumes for them, while Pharaoh rips shot after shot after shot of the back of them.
Good wall towards site, but it's already been broken, so they can't even get that spike down trustedly. Camera over towards site, and again, it's getting all that information. Hebot going absolutely massive.
Here in this map number 4 season, up on championship point, being up 2-1. Nifty dropped down to 19 HP. Joker with his M13 in hand is just trying to hold the angles.
Welcome back, everybody. I hope that you had a pretty nice break. I feel it was a good mental refresher for all of us, even the players themselves, having a moment to just kind of take in Unplugged, already pushing us in to the Match Point 2-0 series. Next map being what Rudy truly wanted, a hybrid, a Watch Point Gibraltar.
I just want a hybrid.
He just wants a hybrid, you know. It's going to be Watch Point Gibraltar coming in. A heavily diveable map, but we've seen Unplugged adapt in any situation. Rudy, how do you feel?
Yeah, this is interesting. So obviously, the Winston compositions kind of reign supreme on this map, but you could still also run the Rush with the Reinhardt, and you could also still run the Wrecking Ball. So FTW, if they're thinking about what composition they want to run, they might want to, you know, try that classic dive with like the Ana, the Brig, or you could even run like a Mercy for your Ash Pocket or something like that. But as we've seen, Unplugged have bested them in 2 other compositions, the head-to-head in those compositions. It's been down to their coordination and just the absolute insane firepower of their hit scan Conde. So I think FTW, if they want a chance of, you know, making more of a statement for this first round, they really need to find a way to deal with, you know, him in particular.
I definitely could agree to that sentiment. I really do feel Conde has been doing an aggressive amount of work when it comes to not only damage, but just environmental factors that have been benefiting them a great amount. More than anything, though, I just feel it is also kind of the support line of Unplugged being able to keep everybody up more than anything. Have you seen these DPS die first? Like, realistically, they've just been up.
That's
Rudy.
true. It's just, yeah, that's one of the things too that I was saying is like Conde just hasn't died. He just didn't really die on the Cassidy on defense. I don't even think when they lost first point that he died necessarily.
Yeah,
or on offense, I mean.
I can almost compare it to like a keyboard typing, just how unnoticeable it can be at times, and I feel that's basically what we can consider Unplugged players are. But now we're going into this dive format. What is the kind of mixed counterplay for?
I'm sorry, nobody else is gonna get that. Yeah, so Unplugged is going to come out with the classic dive actually on a Brig, and FTW is actually going to be coming in with the Wrecking Ball composition. So very interesting change. I do think that the Wrecking Ball composition has an advantage over classic dive. He managed to play with his slams. So far, they're having a bit of trouble contesting high.
It is a real big issue as they're looking to make that space. It's all up to the Wrecking Ball to make those engagement, but it's just not working in their favor. We see that Andy land down, not going to be allowing them to move forward. On the bright side, they do get a trade onto enough. No Mercy being able to benefit you, and especially no Monkey either as the Echo melts you down. You see the Widowmaker now having more than enough room to set up, trying to kill this Tracer, but like a rat, you're just going to be able to escape.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm still laughing at that way you were saying earlier. Literally nobody on the broadcast here. We had a bit of a typing Right now, what matters is this fight with Omega in this side room right here. And, oh my gosh, there's sleeps, there's slams, there's going all over the place.
Yeah, it's only working as well as it is because we see the Nano go onto the D.Va, building up that bomb incredibly quick, and now making the space for their team. It's just not much that FTW can do. Though everyone else on the side of Unplugged are slowly returning. That bomb gets used just to allow the remech. And as they try to escape, Flame's gonna be taken out. The mech is gonna be broken. And the rest of Unplugged immediately move in, finish off the picks, and that's what I call coordination.
Coordination also end up staying on this high ground, peppering in damage again. Cohen, unfortunately, not able to contest them on this Widowmaker, but sightlines will be available now. To get a little more information. It's really going to be on Flamenzo here to start putting in a little more damage here on this Echo. Try to coordinate with Wordy on the Wrecking Ball, who also has Mind down.
It's a very strong ability that they're going to be able to work with long term, especially with Brig being gone. You need it more than ever. We just see that almost one clip go on to the Widowmaker. Funday does have to escape just slightly, but it's being broke out. Unplugged are doing an amazing job when it comes to taking their space, looking for these early picks and setting up. Finding out Birdie means a lot. Using the dynamite, the losing is not really a good part of this fight. I think the bigger worry is just how they're going to be dealing against it. The Nano gets used for that engagement, but we see the copy. Places the monkey, allows to just disengage, and, well, use the Transcendence just to be able to peel, so you really don't have too much to worry about. Even if Conde comes in and clips you afterwards, you still have more than enough fight inside you. Razel is using that bomb, looking to make that space. Conde, though, gets the 2K. Easily clean. Combined with the bomb, this is looking like a full hold as they continue to hold on with the rally enough. Looking to get that play in the game as well.
The tankiness of this dive composition from Unplugged is just working out so much in their favor, and also just Conde just finding the supports of FTW just in these precarious spots. He has like some supernatural ability to sense, you know, the weak links of where people are positioned here. They're going to be caught out here on the high ground here, backed up just a little bit, but not too much. And Thunder once again goes in with the confidence. I mean, he has to be just full of confidence right now.
Yep, this is a comp switch though, which is being the bigger problem. They are at least being able to defend themselves, as we see the monkey go dangerously low, not able to get the mega health back. It gets stolen, I think, by their own D.Va. That's just not going to be working out too well. The bomb gets placed in the middle of them, being able to break down that shield before Rissa has no buffs to be able to sustain, as the Tracer and Vegeta are the only ones long-term being able to stall on this point. Conde is going to be clipped. Vegeta on top of the high ground, allowing for this stall. Looking to use this Nano, placing it onto the monkey. Get a beautiful sleep onto the Tracer. Who needs a defense when you are your own? That's a full hold.
The supports of Kanal and Gavi really have just come alive as well. Just not dying in that last crucial moments of the last offense. It's just the rally to, you know, keep all of them alive even while the tanks are gone. Meanwhile, Enough is just sitting on the high ground, keep peppering in this damage as well. They don't need a mercy pocket. Conde's doing enough work on the Tracer as well. This entire team is just coming alive, and FTW, unfortunately, they're at a loss. They might not get that for the win that is in their name today.
Man, I gotta say, I think it's really telling. Whether it's just a little bit more scrim time or players being more recognizable, I think it shows how well not only individual skill matters, but on team coordination. Because Unplugged perfectly waited that out. If they just had been a little too aggressive, Vegeta could have died, Ana could have died. They wouldn't have had anybody to nano, and it would not have worked out in their favor. Now, FTW playing the back foot, deciding to just go on to this bunker comp to go up against the double shield. You know, it's mixing varying results, but if they want any moment to make a change, it definitely has to be now.
Yeah, for sure. Actually, already switching over to the Winston. Alright, very interesting. So, maybe wanting to try to put more pressure on that back line.
Oh!
But, okay, well, that was a start to your offense.
you know, didn't mention the Bastion just because you never truly expect them to walk out on it. As we just see enough is just poking. They don't really even expect it. They're so far into the enemy's line that eventually they have to back up, being able to get the boop onto the monkey, forcing them in an uncomfortable position. Though enough is still able to freely poke. I've never seen a Bastion run out like this.
It was a Bastion that was teleported up onto the high ground by them putting this TP there. But he's still there. They can't really poke him out unless Hanzo gets a few lucky storm arrow ricochets maybe. But unfortunately, Vahe just goes. That's the second time he's jumped in and just gets destroyed by the Hanzo.
There's just nothing you can do. Hanzo is just so strong, especially with that damage boost. Though they got the payload where they want it, that's all that matters. Flame also has what's called a dragon, and we already see this flank going out for a big value. Gets the back line, the supports don't even know what's happening! It's just not even close as they immediately end that fight.
Alright, are we going to see enough swap after this? I feel like if they want to win... Yep, okay, they're going to switch over to the Ashe. Yeah, if you want to win this map, you might need to get off your troll pick there for a little bit. But yeah, no, so now Ashe is in the picture. The Dragons has been committed on the side of FTW and got a couple other ultimates as well to sustain as well through the Valkyrie. And then maybe something to put space out with a bomb, but now Abi just goes down right away. They were trying to push up and just got a bit too enthusiastic about it.
They still want to engage in this fight. We see the Nano go on to the Monkey to help not only build that Primal, but to look for a pick, having to use it in the mid line. They're still not being able to make anything else for it. FTW are just perfectly safe, not taking any damage. Pulse Bomb goes out, but slightly misses. Luckily, though, it does seem FaZe is going to be able to find out the Ana counter bombs, trading in on each other to go into the high ground. The Res in front of the D.Va does not get punished as they were remecking. However, Unplugged makes the Konde finding that 2K. Even if you're being able to trade onto the Ana, Konde still alive, going inside the backline, being able to scout you out well, and is taking the Tracer 1v1. Not able to touch! It just does not fall in their favor as Unplugged ceremoniously takes a 3-0, showing which is the better ambassador.
Play of the game.
Menzo, definitely shout out to him. He was making that Hanzo pick work. Unfortunately, in the chaos of that last fight, wasn't able to keep track of the true threat of the enemy team. That was the Tracer, Konde, for sure. If there was a player of the match, I would definitely give it to him. But honestly, this Unplugged team is looking pretty scary right now.
Yeah, I gotta say, I definitely feel they put a lot of attention onto that Bastion. It's understandable, but Konde was doing a lot of work, and FTW maybe just have a little bit more to work on. We did see a lot of talent, and I definitely would agree. I'd give the honorary MVP vote for at least that side of what just happened. But if I were to give anyone an MVP vote, especially on the side of Unplugged, it's Konde. Just how much work you make as a Tracer is phenomenal. It's almost obsessive.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he was making this work on the Wrecking Ball composition, on the Cassidy with the, you know, with his just really good dead eyes. And honestly, for Cassidy too, it really is a more of a how it says about their teamwork, their coordination on that composition and all of their compositions as well, but especially on the dive with either the Wrecking Ball or what they were playing on Watchpoint Gibraltar. It really did kind of seem like the Konde show where he could just go and play his own game while everybody else was dying around him, and he just comes in, gets the 3K at the very end, and allows his team to cap the first point. It really did seem like he was just the star player.
I 100% have to give it to you, but, I mean, that's the end of us for today, at least for the broadcasting side. For a first match, I definitely feel this has set the bar for every other team to just do as well, play as strong, and hopefully move further. Though, on the MVP side, I'd like to give it to our production staff. If you want to know who they are, I would highly recommend checking out the Elo Hell Twitter or the Overwatch EX Twitter. You can obviously find them within the summary, so you can check out who was on production, who we are especially, because you may have our Twitters, but there is so much going on in the background. It's an amazing amount of work. But if you are interested in following, keeping up to date with Overwatch EX, and you don't feel like following the Twitters, you don't feel like following the Twitch channel, you know, checking out the Instagram, maybe the YouTube, you can 100% follow both me and Rudy. You can see our Twitters down below, kind of hovering over there, as we will make sure you stay up to date, getting feed, retweets, memes, anything that you're surely feeling about. But Rudy, do you have any final comments?
No, just excited to be a part of this event here. It's going to be an exciting couple of weeks for sure.
I have to agree. Make sure to stay tuned in tomorrow and join the Discord just to stay up to date with the schedule of Overwatch EX, as there are plenty more games to come and more streams to come tomorrow. Either way, I'm using them _ info. This is Rudy TG, and we thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
They did find Cucumber, but he's going to lift him.
Oh, Vulcan gets caught right into that, and Speed is going to be
Oh,
able to follow
no.
up. Talking
You
about
let
jumping
him
over to the
do.
Doofus, talking about playing into the
A
Doofus.
manos de la bola. Ya son 3 las picks que conseguía el equipo de British Hurricane.
We need your help to decide our opinion outpost MVP of the match.
He's got a minute to kind of work some sort of pick against this Doc, and oh my good lord, he just got eviscerated.
Oh! He's not dead! Hey, now he's dead!
Holy cow, I've never seen someone get so aggressive.
Oh, catches their opponent outside of the building, and that is it.
It's Rocket League Wednesday on the High School Esports League home room. I am, as the kids say, vibing right now. This is just fumes for them, while Pharaoh rips shot after shot after shot of the back of them.
Good wall towards site, but it's already been broken, so they can't even get that spike down trustedly. Camera over towards site, and again, it's getting all that information. Heatbot going absolutely massive.
Here in this map number 4 season, up on championship point, being up 2-1. Nifty dropped down to 19 HP. Joker with his M13 in hand is just trying to hold the angles